Yes, do acts of service to increase love, not sex. A lot of red pill is anti-marriage, bro, due to it being against men's interest in Western society, while your approach is more Islamic. Yes, and I agree. I agree that men should not... You see, the difference here is, what do we understand by marriage? My definition of marriage and the red pill's definition, community's definition of marriage is not the same thing. My definition of marriage is nikah. You do that at home. Red pill's definition of marriage is like everyone else's. You do a civil marriage. I don't agree with that. Don't do a civil marriage. Unless you're going to get a prenup. But even then, why bother? Don't do a civil marriage. Unless you're Christian and that's how you fulfill your, your need for marriage. Fine, I get it. Sign your prenup. But I totally agree. You shouldn't do marriage otherwise. How do you make... Okay, Bilal, I hope I answered that question. Marriage by texture, Mona. Right. So the way to a man's heart is his stomach. Right. Let's go all the way to the bottom. You gotta get your block game up. Your haters mad sad. Right. Okay, if you wanna come live with me, Osama, جيب لي ماء من فضلك, جيب لي ماء. Okay. Guys, Rishaw, she's 15 years old. Yes, that's why I don't engage with her. She's a minor. Rishaw, listen to me, sweetheart. You're too young. Okay? You're too young. You don't want this conversation, believe me. Okay, questions. Bismillah. The 5 love language quiz for couples is really good. I mean, I found it beneficial. I found it enlightening, actually. Enlightening. I found it enlightening. The problem is, you cannot use this love language thing to increase sexual desire. And that's where men go wrong. They think if she loves me more, she'll desire me more. Our survey says no. Love is not connected to desire. They're two different things. Okay. Okay, so would you say the same with attention? Give your wife a bit of attention, but not too much. Look, for the most part, like I said, your wife is not your priority. You should not prioritize her. I keep saying this. My wife's watching this. She's on the live. She doesn't like this, by the way. Do you think women like hearing this? No, they don't like it, but my wife reluctantly agrees. She reluctantly agrees, you know what, it's in our best interest. It's in our best interest. It is what it is. Look, don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't like this, frankly speaking. I wish I could just be like an open book with women. I really do. But women don't respond to that. They don't respond to that. So, don't hate the player, hate the game. It is what it is. Right. Women are not protected having a civil marriage. Nikah is not recognized in this country. So what? Amal, so what? Protected how? His money? You want his money? Is that what you call protection? Make your own money. Why should you get his money for? You're Muslim. You're entitled to 3 months of him providing for you during your iddah. After that, ma'as-salama, goodbye. Right. What's the difference between civil marriage and nikah? Okay, nikah is where the imam, you either go to the masjid or the imam comes to your house and you do the nikah. The imam says a few words, the Islamic sermon and so on, and then you're married. That's it. There's no lawful binding whereby she can claw away half of your wealth, or indeed you can claw away half of hers. But both ways is bad, by the way. Okay. Good question, Samuel. Is it possible to have more than one love language? That's a good question. I don't know. Gary Chapman talks about a primary love language and a secondary love language. Look, I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert on this topic. I really don't. But all I know is that you need to feed me. You make sure you feed me. I don't want to say what my wife says, but look, different people, different things. Horses for courses, right? Horses for courses. Some people need physical touch. Physical touch. Some people love gifts. Some people feel loved when you help around the house. It is what it is. Just make sure you're not doing this to get sex out of her. Because you got way bigger problems if that's what's going on in your relationship. You need to figure out how to get her desire. And the way you do that is the way I've already covered it in this live. Guys, like I say, look, do yourself a favor and get off the live. You're 15 years old, okay? Let's just leave it out. If you get really good at love language, can you share? Oh Lord! Really good at love language, can you shag girl? No, you can't. I just explained why. Just because a woman loves you doesn't mean she desires you. It's how men get friend zoned. Yeah, desire and sex are different things. You need to get really good at desire language. That's what you need to get really good at. Okay. Sultan, yes I do, alhamdulillah. Okay, Zaki, you want a really specific. If you want specific consultation, go to my link, my Patreon link. I do that. We can do one-on-ones. We can do that. You want a specific framework now? We can do that. Okay, but I've given you the general framework of how to make a woman desire you. The general framework. Okay, let's bring this brother on. Bismillah. Muhammad, are you on the live? You want to... ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I get bored speaking to myself. If someone could come on the live with me, I'd really appreciate that. So I'll start sending you requests. Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, Muhammad. How are you, akhi?
Fine, brother. I miss you, brother. And I want to say, really, أحبك في الله يا أخوي.
أحبك الله الذي أحببتنا فيه. بارك الله فيك, akhi.
Thank you. So I don't remember. I'm not sure if you remember our small conversation last time we had.
Remind me.
I hope you still remember. We had small conversation before. I hope you still remember it.
Remind me. Or I don't remember. Remind me.
No, we talk about like you were telling me what will you provide to your partner or to your future wife. I told you I will provide her with my love, affection, security, blah blah blah. And then I told you I have this obstacle of finance. So I have this financial obstacle, and like that. Then we didn't go into the financial obstacle. Yeah. So okay, I know this today's episode, today's live is about this the 5 love language. I just knew it now actually, and to be honest, I have no idea about this topic, so I cannot speak anything. I cannot comment because I have to first read, get an idea, do small research, so I can say something. So for now, so that's why if we have to talk about something.
Muhammad, what's your question?
Yeah. So okay, let's talk about So in our culture, like especially in Syria, most of the marriages are arranged marriages. Okay. So arranged marriages, most of the time it's successful. Like let's say 70% it's successful.
Right.
But what happens is these 70% successful, the man and his wife, they have children. Their children grow up. They become maybe let's say 25 years old, 26 years old.
Yeah. But
the man and his woman, they have love, both of them, but there is no desire. They are so I don't know how to explain it in a nice way. So how can they increase desire? So the woman actually, mostly the man, he have desire, he wants to, you know what I mean, but the woman, she is not interested. She's
okay. I'll tell you how you make her desire you. I'll tell you.
So how do you
you need to piss her off a little bit. That's how you make her desire you. I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you. Look, women try to tell us how to love them. Yeah? And you frequently hear, I want him to treat me like a queen. I want him to spoil me. I want him to tell me all of that stuff. Okay? The problem is what women are not getting, what they're not quite understanding is, that might make her love him, but that doesn't make her desire him. So this man now goes into a shutdown. He's thinking, hold on, I've told her I love her, I shower her with compliments and on. She still doesn't desire me. So I guess I should do it even more to make her desire me. Ya umri hayati ahla warda ma'arif shunu. All of this nonsense. Nonsense, yeah? And he starts suffocating her with love. He's literally strangling her with love. What this guy needs to do is, he needs to pull back. Pull
Hmm.
back. Stop validating her. Stop complimenting her. Stop telling her how amazing she is, and just get a life. Like, get a life and start focusing on yourself. That is
Okay,
enough sometimes.
I'll tell you something. I know a case. I know a case where both of them, the couples, they fight, and the husband, he gives her no attention. He ignores her. The woman, she gets pissed off, but still, it doesn't lead to anything further. She gets like pissed off. Then she goes and she makes up with him. They talk again together, but that's it. Nothing happens.
How
And
do you mean?
I'm
What do you mean by they make up? They make up how?
they make up, like she goes to him, she tells him I'm sorry, so then she gets him to talk again with him. But when he dumps her first, or I mean when he ignores her for maybe 1 week, he doesn't talk to her.
And I
He
bet
doesn't
I bet they have crazy good makeup sex after that.
no, that's the thing. Okay, you said it, so yeah, I'll say the word. Yeah, so there's no sex at all, even though they have this tension, but still there is no sex.
What's going on here is that this individual has the worst possible scenario. The worst possible case scenario is a relationship where not only do you have no love or little love, but you also have little desire. When you have no love and no desire, even if you ignore her, it's not doing anything for her. And I don't know why she doesn't desire him, but if I had to guess, it would be something along the lines of, this man is not on his purpose, he's not ambitious, he's not an upright
Exactly.
Right.
Because no, this man is ambitious, but he's lazy. He's not doing any work. He's just relaxing and yeah.
So that's not ambitious. How can he be ambitious if he's not doing any work?
No, sometimes, like there is a saying, like people who envy, they are ambitious people, but when they see others who are successful, they envy them because they are also lazy. So they have dreams, they want to be like great, but they are lazy, they don't work hard, so they become ambitious.
Look, women are sexually attracted to men who are playing at a higher level than themselves.
Yeah, who have a purpose.
Right.
True.
Exactly.
True.
If you're not on your purpose, how are you going to stimulate her desire? You're a bum. You're a bum, right?
True.
Let alone her love you. You've lost both of them. Are you with me?
True, but you treat her and you do the asshole. You play the asshole. You treat her and you act with her as an asshole, and she gets mad about it, and then she comes back and she the man I'm telling you about, he have no ambitions. He's just relaxing. Okay, he's just relaxing, and the woman, she doesn't like it. So for that reason, she doesn't desire him.
Right.
She have no desire for him. But then, after some time, she creates a fight with him. She creates a drama. He replies back to her. They fight with each other, and then he ignores her. He gives her zero attention. After 1 week, she gets pissed off. Then she goes and she try to get things back to normal. But there is no sex still.
Look. This guy, he needs to get back on his purpose. He needs to get back on his purpose if he wants to stimulate that desire from her. I don't know her side of the story, okay, but it would appear to me that she also doesn't feel love. So not only does she have low desire, she has low love as well.
She have love for him. I'm sure of this. She have love.
She might have some love. Listen, women take a long time to fall out of love with a man. Yeah, women tend to be quite loyal, but eventually it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I didn't say she has no love. I just said she doesn't have much. Yeah.
Okay.
But certainly her desire appears to be low. Now I have another question. Does this man engage in porn, or does he have sex with other women outside the marriage?
No, he doesn't have. No.
Are you 100% he doesn't watch porn and relieve himself like that?
I'm 1000%.
Okay. Well, like I say, if he's not approaching her and trying to make a move on her, that's an indication to me that he's getting his outlet elsewhere. Either that or he's got no balls. Because a man needs to look. For us, it's physical. When our testicles fill up with sperm, we need to release them. If he is not approaching the only halal option he has, that's an indication to me that he's getting it from elsewhere.
So he have to. So let's focus on the solution. So he have to he have to get back on his purpose. He have to start moving, working, doing something. Then he will become more attractive, and then his life will be fixed, and everything will become normal.
Look,
that's the solution.
Firstly and foremostly, he needs to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you can just remember this one thing, this is enough. Because fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, part of that is protecting yourself from haram. Part of that is being on your purpose. Part of that, and on and on and on and on and on.
True.
So this is enough advice. You see, but once we start straying away from these things, then we're going to have inevitable problems in our marriage. But it's difficult for me to say without speaking to both sides of the story. And Allah
No, so for me, I don't blame women at all. When there is no desire, it's always, I feel it's the responsibility of the man. The man, I feel like a woman is like a flower. If you don't every day give her water, you don't like take care of her, it will not keep, what is the word? My English is not that
you want
good.
flower?
Yes, Yes, so the flower you should plant, you should give it water, you should care about it.
A little bit, but too much water and you kill the plant.
Yeah, exactly. You should stay. Yeah, you should do the balancing. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Akhi? Any other questions, Muhammad?
Thank you.
Yalla, take care, Habibi.
Thank you so much. Habibi, shukran, bye.
Muhammad, take your thing off, please, Habibi.
What? I should go out, or you will
please,
press?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shukran.
Okay, fine. Salama.
Okay. If you want to come live, send me a request. Kara, very good. You've been watching some Red Pill content, Kara, yeah? You can't negotiate desire. Absolutely. Desire should come innately. You should want to do it because you want to do it, period. Francis, brilliant. Let's bring Francis on. If you wrote it too much, it will drown. Yeah, absolutely. Francis.
Hey, Mahdi, how are you doing?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm from Kenya. I listen to you a lot. It's very enriching content.
Thank you.
Thank you. My major maybe point of questioning is what's happening to all these men who are alpha males, and when they get into positions of greatness, they fall for, could I say, they fall into sexual temptation, and it's very disappointing. Like, I mean, I'm thinking of the likes of who was this financial boss from France, I think DSK. We've got Harvey's, we've got all these important guys. What makes a man more intentional when he gets to, I mean, when he has this sharp mental edge and he can get into positions of power? Why do they fall down on this sexual slippery slope?
Well, that's an easy question. The reason is, the more successful you become, the more women you will have throwing themselves at your feet. It's harder to resist once you have loads of women offering themselves to you, right? It's quite normal, really. Are you Muslim, Francis?
I'm listening. I'm not Muslim. I'm Christian, but I mean, yes.
Right. So you're a Christian. You have your fundamental beliefs, right? I'm a Muslim. I have my fundamental beliefs. One thing Christianity and Islam says is to not fornicate or commit adultery, right? But if you're a man who either is not Muslim or Christian, or he just doesn't care, then why not do what you want with all these different women?
I get you. Well, thanks for your answers, and all the best.
All right, Francis. Take care. Yeah, the sound was excellent. Right. Okay. Let's go back to these questions. Oh, we've got someone else who wants to come on. Excellent. It seems to be that as soon as one person comes on the live, the floodgates open. It's that first person to come on that's difficult.
Assalamu alaikum. What's going on?
Assalamu alaikum wa
alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. How you doing, bro? Nothing, man. You haven't even noticed that it's me, man, this whole time.
What's your username?
Official Aces. Low key one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro.
Yes, what are you saying, Akhi?
Nothing much, man. Obviously, I've been tuning in your lives like quite often now, man. Tuning in your live quite often. But I actually got a question regarding this. So just before to let you know, is that obviously I got married a couple months ago. Alhamdulillah. So jazakallah khair, man. Jazakallah khair. So obviously I was gonna say the question that I was gonna ask specifically is with regards to what the book that you just read.
Which one?
The 5 languages of love.
Yeah, 5 languages. Yeah.
And obviously, first of all, is you see when it comes to the languages of love, is it something? So obviously, I'm very like marriage has opened up my eyes into different things I've never thought in such ways before. The biggest challenge in my life. So it's like with regards to married, when it comes to the love languages, does a woman or does a person understand their own love language in order for you to kind of ask them what is their preferable way of language, or is it something that you figure out yourself by seeing by testing these love languages out and seeing what actually goes with it? Because like you said before, there may be a primary and a secondary one. You see where I'm coming from?
Fantastic question. I'm glad you asked. I put a post up on my story yesterday, and I can't remember the exact quote now, but in his book, he says, your spouse's complaints are often is their loudest way of expressing what their love language is. I'll give you an example. Your wife frequently says to you, you don't touch me enough. Or perhaps your wife says to you, you don't help me around the house enough. I wish you'd help me more. Or she says to you, we don't go out places. We never do anything. And she's frequently repeating that complaint. This is an indication that the way she feels loved is by going out places or you helping around the house and so on. Just as there's a book here that I've got, where is it? And it's amazing how when you read different books, you make different connections. This book here is a copywriting book, How to Create Good Advertising. And one of the ways that he recommends creating quality advertising is going onto Amazon and checking out the 2, 3, and 4-star reviews, because those reviews have the best critical feedback on that product. So you can make another product with the feedback of those 2, 3, and 4-star reviews and make the necessary improvements from those reviews. Do you see?
Okay.
So you take the criticism of the customer and then you create a new product that has taken into consideration the criticisms of many customers. So let's say you got a whole bunch of customers saying the exact same thing. Maybe they want the product to be bigger and there's hundreds of them saying the same thing. Well, guess what? You take that criticism and you build a bigger product. Equally, if your wife or your husband is frequently complaining about the same thing over and over and over, it's an indication that the way they feel loved is by, I don't know, washing the floor, dishes, and so on and so forth. And there's nothing wrong with this so long as you're not doing it to get sex out of your woman. If you're doing it to get sex out of her, this becomes transactional. This is an indication that she doesn't desire you and she feels guilty. It's like you've gone to Tesco and you've given the cashier your money, and now the cashier has to give you your shopping. She doesn't have a choice. That's how a woman feels. When you do this for her, you've given her money. Now she's like, well, I have to give him in return now. And that's the worst type of sex. The worst type. Okay. Terrible dynamic. But for love purposes, for a purpose of making her feel loved, no problem. Find out what she's complaining about the most and then do that. But I will say there is a test that you can just take online. It's called the 5 love languages test. Do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that answers my question. Jazakallah khair. And my second question is, I've got another question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, let me just remember what I was going to ask. Oh yeah, so you said as a man, basically, correct me if I'm wrong, that obviously when it comes to your relationship, like a man shouldn't prioritize the wife, they should prioritize themselves. So basically keeping on their grind and so on and so forth.
Correct.
Now, would you say that this is the same with a female? For example, a wife, should she stay, obviously women probably have different kind of grinds in their own kind of way, but would you say that she should also focus on herself and not prioritize me as the husband, as an example, just so that she can, you get what I'm saying?
So when you get married, if you're a man who's worth his salt, a woman steps into your frame. If she's married someone whom she feels is going places, she has stepped into your frame. She is there, by and large, to serve you. By and large. It's not the same. We are not directly equal. He's on his purpose, and she's there to serve him. Period. Now, I will add a caveat to that. And that caveat is, because I've had this personal experience myself. I was once married, and this woman made me her entire life. I was her life. She was so focused on me, so focused, that when I did anything that didn't involve her, she would go berserk. She would go bonkers. So I say to women, and I say to my own wife as well, I said, listen, babe, you need to have your own thing going on as well. Like, you need to have your own little thing going in the background. something that keeps you
Okay.
occupied, something that's got nothing to do with me. I don't want nothing to do with that. Something that keeps her mind occupied, moving in a productive manner that she can focus her attention on and take her mind away from you. Take her mind
Okay.
away from you just a little bit, but not too much. Because if you're a high value man, you need a woman there to move into your frame. She's there to serve you for the most part. You are on your grind. You're taking the family places, and she's there to serve you, to serve the children, to serve the family, make sure the house is on point, kids are on point, food is ready, and so on and so forth. But she needs her own little side thing, and I have to emphasize side thing, so that she can keep her mind slightly distracted from you. Because I have this experience. The moment she becomes, like, you become her world, my friend, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. It
Okay.
becomes nasty, nasty downward spiral from there. Does
Okay,
that
no
make
worries,
sense?
man.
And yeah, as
Yeah,
a
yeah, that
woman,
makes complete
you're her
sense.
number one priority. Like, straight up, if I say to my wife, like, Hayati, like, I need food, I'm hungry, I need it now, or I need to do this, that, and the other. Like, I need it now. And if I say now, it means now, or half an hour, 1 hour, whatever. I don't care what you got going on. This is how it is. This is how it's gonna be. This is what you need to do. Other than that, if I don't need you, do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. Like, I don't know, you got this little thing here, you got that little thing, whatever. But cross it with me first. Make sure that it's not compromising or affecting me in any negative way, and you have a good balance there, inshallah. Does that make sense, Akhi?
Okay, yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. Jazakallah khair. I actually think my wife actually tuned into the live just to hear you out. So yeah, Jazakallah
Listen,
khair,
one
Mahdi, man. That
thing,
helps a
look,
lot.
that's my wife
Go
commenting
ahead.
at the bottom. She doesn't like it, but she knows it's true. But listen,
I see that.
but one thing, Ali, one thing though,
No, no.
don't expect your wife to agree with this, like off the bat. Don't expect her to say, yeah, Ali, that makes so much sense. Women don't like this inherently. They don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell those women, it's okay, you don't need to like it. We know what's best for you. Don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. Go speak to the fisherman. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, great analogy, man.
Do you understand, yeah?
No, yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah, man. Jazakallah khair, man. May Allah
Barakallah
reward
fiqh,
you, bro.
Habibi.
I'll
Barakallah
be
fiqh.
listening, bro. Keep it up, man. Jazakallah khair,
My
man. I
guy,
support you all
take
the way,
care.
fam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. Salam alaikum, bro.
Okay. No comment. Right. Okay, Bilal. People say ignoring is toxic and manipulative. Bro, I'm not saying to ignore. Look, you know this whole pickup artistry thing? It's like wait 3 hours before you text her back and then text her and all that bollocks. Listen, you should be genuinely on your grind. If you're genuinely busy, you don't have time to text her back straight away. You don't have time to pick up the phone when she calls you. I'm busy, fam. I'll get back to you when I'm ready. Period. But it has the same effect as if you ignored her. But the difference is you're not playing a game. You're not playing a game. You're actually busy. You're actually on your purpose. You're on your grind. So you're not ignoring her. You're just busy. I'm busy, fam. I'll call you when I'm ready. Period. Okay, this is a good question. Since there's more women nowadays with careers, how are they going to prioritize their man? Then this is how I will answer this question. If you're looking for a high value man, and they're a small percentage of the population, high value men are not interested in career women. Good luck. They're not. High value men want a woman who might have a career, but she's not a career woman. Do you see the fundamental difference? The fundamental difference is one of them is prepared to give up her career if needs be and travel with her man and so on and so forth. And the other one is not. Look, if you're a high value man on your purpose, on your grind, you know, you're going places, you're very, very busy. You need a woman to come into the picture and take care of all the side things that you don't really have time for. If she's a career woman, she won't have time to do that for him. And that's why high value man don't give two shits about your career. We don't care about your money. We don't care about how successful you are in your career. Don't bring it to the table. We don't care. Actually, your career gets in the way. Your career is a problem for us. But guess what? You can settle with an average guy. He'll be very happy for you to have a career. I'll tell you why. He wants you to pay half the bills. And this is just facts, ladies. I know you ladies don't like to hear this, but this is just facts. It is what it is. So understand what it is you want. What type of man do you want? And then act accordingly. If you're happy to settle with an average dude, more power to you. Get your career. He'll be more than happy for you to pay half the bills. Yeah, like I said, she's not gonna like it. But believe me, it's good for her. It's like medicine. Sometimes it tastes bitter, but it's good for the body. Can a marriage be sustained with only desire and no love? No, it cannot. Great story that Patrick Bet-David keeps telling over and over. I'm surprised his wife hasn't killed him yet. Is one of his girlfriends that he had when he was in his early 20s. He said, we used to have the most amazing sex. But then one week I realized, what do we even talk about? Like, do we even have a relationship other than sex? So he said to her, for 1 week, me and you, we're not going to have sex. I need to see if we actually have a relationship. 1 week, they abstained from sexual intercourse. He said, guess what? I realized I've got nothing in common with this woman. We weren't talking about anything. There was no substance between us. It was all fun. Shortly after that, they went their separate ways. So lack of love is just as detrimental as lack of desire. And that's why I said the true alpha, the ultimate alpha, is the one who is able to get both pieces of the puzzle. If you can only do desire, I'm sorry, you're a one-trick pony, fam. If you can only do love, you're a simp. So figure out how to do both. Okay, this is good. How do you inspire your wife to be productive and ambitious like yourself if the difference is stark? I will answer this how my wife answered this. She said to me, Mahdi, you tell everyone to be ambitious and so on. But for the women, you're like, be ambitious, just not too ambitious. And I hope you're watching, Mona. Be ambitious, just not too ambitious. Look, if you're stepping into the frame of a man who is on his grind, he's very, very busy, he's going places, I'm sorry, I don't want a hyper-ambitious woman. We don't want hyper-ambitious women. Here's what it is. We want women who will step into our frame and take care of everything for us. All that stuff in the background is what it is. So be ambitious, just don't be too ambitious. Let's see. How do you... What? Okay, what can she do as things? For example, okay, I'll give you an example. My wife has well, I don't want to disclose what she does. She has a company. It's a part-time thing more than anything else. And she has some sisters that she does. They do events, and you know, every now and again they organize stuff and they have classes and so on and so forth. So that's an example of that, right? That's an example. Doesn't affect my life in the slightest. Yeah, it's literally a part-time thing. That's an example. Okay, random one. What was the, just out of curiosity, what was the issue with bright hijab? Bright hijabs for me personally are like light beacons of attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I prefer brown or black. Should men stay away from women who can't cook? Gentlemen, I'll let you answer that one. Should men stay away from women who can't cook? Oh, that's a bit harsh. You can learn. She can learn, right? My wife, she didn't know how to cook when she was married. She didn't know how to cook when she was married. She had to learn on the job. No, that's not a deal breaker. She can learn. She can learn how to cook. Right. All right, guys. I'm going to end this live. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for joining. I hope I did it justice. I hope I didn't forget some important points. I always do, so I know that I did. Any questions, hit me up in the inbox. If you want to take a deep dive, you want one-on-one, Patreon, the link is in my bio, and we can talk there. Jazakumullah khair. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.